The simplest macrame projects are often the ones you use the most. I'll be walking you through how to make 2 clean and minimal keychain patterns that double as bag charms, made with a few knots and some sturdier cord to hold it all together nicely. Nicole here, and welcome to BOCHIKNOT Macrame. If you are looking for something fun, practical, and beginner friendly, then this is the best place to start. These designs are intentionally simple, not overly intricate, not time consuming, just a few clean knots that turn into something strong and functional. For this project, I do recommend using a cord that is sturdier. So 3-ply, braided, or what I'm using for this pattern is a rhinestone cord that is super sturdy. This is so that your keychains hold shape nicely so that they don't go soft over time. I'll be walking you through these 2 patterns step by step so that you'll be able to understand these 2 designs fully, and I'll also be sharing with you some little tips along the way to help keep your patterns even, neat, and secure. And with that said, let's jump right in. So for the materials we will be using for this pattern, it's pretty simple. You'll only need a lobster clasp, a large hole bead, and some cord. And the cord we will be using for this project is a little different than what we typically use. This is a rhinestone cord, so really it's a bunch of little gems with this sticky, gluey type texture that's wrapped around some cord. So you see that white part? That is actually cord. And then there's a sticky layer on top, and that's where the gems are stuck onto. So this is a 4mm rhinestone cord. So if you're thinking of using a different type of cord for this project, 4mm cord is what I used. Now, as for the bead we will be using, this is an 18mm width bead. So the total width of it is 18mm, and the hole size, this is important when it comes to macrame because we do deal with a lot of thicker cords. And so this hole size is 9mm, so it will fit 2 strands of 4mm cords nicely through. 2 strands, it is about 8mm, and it'll fit 2 strands through perfectly. For the lobster clasp, I'm using something a little bit more unique than what you would usually see. It's a heart-shaped lobster clasp that also has a little round clasp at the bottom too. This is great, especially if you're using it as charms or even as a keychain. You can make the charm on either the bottom of the main lobster clasp or onto here, and you can just take it off and you can attach it to another charm or your keys. And you can even, if it's made on here, you can attach other charms with it as well. If you're interested in any of the materials I have used in this pattern, I'll post links of them in the description below and also tag them in the video here as well. So to begin, we will need to attach a strand of cord onto the bottom of the lobster clasp. Now you can either make this charm onto the round clasp or on the bottom of the main lobster clasp. For this one, I'm actually going to just make it on the bottom of the regular clasp, so the heart-shaped clasp. So you're going to need a strand of 60cm long cord. What we're going to do is we're going to weave it through. Like so. Match the ends so that the ends are even. Before we start making the braided pattern, what we're going to do is hold the 2 cord ends together, and we're going to weave the large hole bead through. You can have it sitting right underneath the lobster clasp, or you can leave a little bit of room. That is totally up to you. And then I'm just going to tape the top part down to prevent it from moving too much while we make the braided pattern. So the knot we're going to be making in this project is called a snake braid. It can be a little bit tricky to grasp at first because you don't know which cords are going which direction, but I'm going to be going super slow, so hopefully you'll be able to follow along with this. Once you get the hang of it, it does get a little bit easier. So we're going to start with the left cord. We're going to go under the right cord, form a loop like this, and then bring that right side over like that. Then take this right cord over, so over that one too. So I'm just going to grab onto this one, over, and then tuck that top one through underneath like so. Then once you've pulled it through, then we're going to pull on both ends to tighten, and it has that little nice pretty knot right like that. Two little curves that intersect. So what we're going to do now is, if you want to leave a little bit more space for the bead, that's okay, but I'm just going to, before I fully tighten it, I'm just going to shift the knot upwards, and then once it's about where you want it to go, then tighten it. So pull on both cord ends. And that's one snake braid knot. So we're going to repeat this 4 more times. So I'm going to show you again 2 more times, and then you can repeat the same knot 2 more times. So we're going to take the left cord under the right, flip it over, then take that right cord over on top, and then we're going to bring it to the back and through that bottom loop. Once it's pulled through, pull on the ends to tighten. Then make sure we shift it up to tighten, like so. Okay, I'll repeat once more without any instruction. And then once we're done all 3, so far this is what the pattern looks like. It's a really nice, unique, beautiful braid. And all you have to do is repeat this 2 more times. Once all 5 knots are made, this is what your snake braid should look like. I've left minimal spacing in between the knots so that when made closely together, it has that alternating look to it. So it's a wrap, 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 wrap. And then now for the ends, you can leave as is if you'd like so. Or what I want to do is I'm going to tie a little overhand knot at the end. So I left just enough room for that. When measuring cord lengths for rhinestone cord, it's actually really helpful to be super precise because rhinestone cord is really expensive, so you do want to try and save as much as you can. So take one end, make a loop, place the end through, hold the end, and just slide the knot close to the end so that we don't leave anything to have to cut off. We're just going to make the overhand knot right at the end like this. And then you can do the same thing on the other end. So wrap it around, make a loop, pull the end through, slide the knot to the very end. And there you have it, our simple snake braid charm. You can hang this as a bag charm on a bag, use it for a keychain, or you can even use it as a card charm as well. For this keychain, we are going to be using a gold heart-shaped lobster clasp with a round lobster clasp attached to it. You can make the charm either on the round one or on the bottom of the heart one. Here is an 18mm large hole pearl bead with a 9mm hole. Now that's the most important because you want to be able to thread 2 strands of cord through. These are 2 of 4mm each, so that equates to 8mm, and so it should fit nicely inside. And as for the cord, we will be using 4mm rhinestone cord. And this is in the color Champagne. So for this pattern, we're going to start with a lobster clasp, and we're going to then weave a 60cm long cord through the bottom of the lobster clasp. And I'm weaving it through the bottom of the heart lobster clasp. Now, this one, we don't need even ends. We do need one longer than the other. Basically, we need one end approximately 5 inches long. It's approximately how long you would expect your finished charm to be. So it's approximately 5 inches long. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take bead, weave it through the first cord, weave it through the second cord, like so. Okay, once it's measured, we are now ready to make the barrel knot. Now, I forgot to mention previously, to make the barrel knot, it is helpful to have a thin stick like this. This is just a crochet hook. So something like this, with a 3 to 4mm diameter. I know this is a little bit smaller, but we will still make fairly loose wraparounds. So the ultimate goal of the barrel knot when we do the wraparounds is to make the wraparounds loose enough so that we can thread the cord back through it. I'll show you what that means when we make the knot. You can use that as a tool for the barrel knot. Now, you don't have to use a tool if you don't want to. You can just follow along and just make fairly loose wraparounds and keep it consistent. Okay, so to begin, we're going to hold the middle spot of the shorter cord end. So about here, take the long end. We're going to bring it around, then place the stick here, and then we're going to start wrapping it around fairly loose. So not tight, still fairly loose, all the way up until we have a few inches left. Okay, so when you have, I'd say about 2.5 inches left, I think we're ready. So make sure everything is nice and loose. And then once you're ready, take the tool out, take the cord and weave it through all the loops back down. Now, if you have to do it one by one like I am, that's totally okay, or if you can do them 2 at a time, that's okay too. Depending on how stiff your cord is, this part will be easier, and of course how much space you have to weave the cords through. So once through, then we can pull on both cord ends to try and tighten the knot. You can also shift the knot up and down to tighten it. You're gonna have a little bit of space at the top, that's given, and that's totally okay, and some left over at the end, and that is okay too. You can play around with this barrel knot. You can add more wraparounds and then pull the cord end through so that you have a larger barrel knot if you'd like. I am pretty satisfied with the one we just made, and I like that the ends are even. I don't have to snip off any excess. So that is the ultimate goal. This is the barrel knot. This is the barrel knot. And there you have it, 2 simple keychain patterns that are easy to make, but durable enough to use every day. Sometimes it's not about adding more knots. It's about choosing the right cord and keeping things intentional. If you enjoyed this and want more patterns just like this, from simple builds to more advanced macrame projects, I do share everything step by step over on our BOCHIKNOT macrame community on Patreon, and there's a full library you can come back to at any time over there as well. So if you're interested in getting more details about that, head on over to patreon.com/BOCHIKNOT. And as always, take your time with this, focus on your tension and spacing, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.